Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101 all-time low. That free pop-up at Bourbon Street was incredible just a few weeks back. But it's 8 o'clock now on Friday, and it's time for Case's movie review, where he reviews a movie that a lot of us have seen, but he hasn't. And it's in the lens of a 26-year-old. And Billy in Piatone said he recommended this movie just about 2 months ago. His favorite movie, Billy says. I don't know. I think The Usual Suspects and Piatone, they just go together very clearly. So let's get into it.
For Christ's sake, tomorrow's the 4th of July, and we will be open for business.
What country you from? What? What ain't no country I ever heard of? They speak English and what?
Utah. Give me 2.
Do you enjoy pain?
Pain don't hurt.
Wax on, right hand. Wax off, left hand.
Now fry like bacon, you little freshman piggies. Fry! Fry!
Playing football in West Canaan may have been the opportunity of your lifetime, but I don't want your life.
The Usual Suspects, released August 16th, 1995, so pretty close to the 30-year anniversary of that movie. The budget was just $6 million. Even with all the stars that you'll hear about in that movie, that just shows the difference of what people like. The Rock gets like $30 million a movie now. And you had quite a few A-level people in this movie in the 90s. It was only $6 million, the budget. It made $67 million. On Rotten Tomatoes, The Usual Suspects has received a rating of 87% based on 83 reviews, with an average rating of 7.8 out of 10. At the 68th Academy Awards, Kevin Spacey won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor, and Christopher McQuarrie won the Academy Award for Best Original Screenplay. And just a reminder that next week, Case is going to review Pride and Prejudice, starring Keira Knightley in honor of
Oh my God, that's one of my favorite movies.
20th anniversary.
Well, Kenzie, be sure to tune in next week.
Oh, it's my favorite. Finally, a good movie.
Boy, do I have a show for you.
Oh my God.
And you know what's funny is, as we do all these movies, I love the passion. Love it.
Love it.
Because we do these movies, and we started this whole thing basically because I got tired of making movie references and Case not getting them. This is almost 2 years ago. And so we started it, and it's turned into a groundswell of people, not just Case, but our listeners becoming movie people more than ever. And when he mentioned that, Kenzie, to me before the show, I said, I know that movie, but I've seen so many of everything. I feel like I've seen everything, but I've never seen that movie.
Oh my God, it's my favorite. It's like the movie that I just put on casually, like my comfort movie.
Yeah. And
my gosh, you're in for the ride of your life.
Case, I'm guessing you're not going to get my new words in next week's review.
Yeah, it's Kenzie's review next week.
It's going to be Kenzie's review.
I'm so excited for you.
So let's get back to The Usual Suspects, and we'll start like we always do. Back in 1995, this is the trailer for The Usual Suspects, how it was advertised.
The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist.
Who is Kaiser Soze?
Anybody goes in there is not coming out alive.
5 men must find a myth
Kaiser Soze!
before it destroys them all.
I'm gonna finish this thing.
He's here! Now it's payback!
And like that, he's gone. The Usual Suspects. Rated R.
All right. No comments on that. Love that trailer. That's a good one. That's
Good. You are the harshest critic there is on movie trailers for some reason.
I love movie trailers. Love the voiceovers. Love the editing. But that was good. That's a good one. So, Case, The Usual Suspects, take us on your journey through watching this movie for the first time.
So we watched this movie because of all the recent heists. The Louvre, the shoe store that got robbed. A lot of heists going on recently. That is not the lifestyle for me. Sometimes I watch a movie. We always go back to Varsity Blues, where I watched Varsity Blues. James Van Der Beek, the literate and profound prodigy quarterback that he was, made me feel like a giant loser. I thought I should have lived life differently. I've made a few mistakes along the way. I could put myself in the shoes of a James Van Der Beek and understand the appeal of that. Being a high-level criminal is so stressful. And I don't think I could do it.
Oh.
For example, these guys want money, right? We all want money. To quote, what's Rocky's wife's name? Adriana, what's her name?
We've got cars.
Yeah.
We've got money.
Money!
Yeah, baby.
What are you afraid of?
We all want money, right?
That was Adrian, by the way.
Thank you. Adriana's Christopher Moltisanti's wife. So,
Sopranos reference this morning.
So they want money, and they have a chance to do a heist and hijack these emeralds. And what they're going to do is there's this service called New York's Finest Taxi Service, which is I love the concept of this, where these crooked cops are embezzling gems and emeralds and diamonds, and it's all an inside job. And they're going to do a job on the inside job, which means they have to perfectly time driving 3 vans into New York City, closing in on a police car, trapping the police car between the sidewalk and the 3 vans, stealing the emeralds, and then lighting the cop car on fire. If that was how I had to make money, I would just be a Walmart greeter. I couldn't handle that level of pressure. It's so stressful. Not to mention all the secrets you have to keep when you're a criminal.
Oh, forget it.
I love talking. People would know. I would walk around with a name tag that says Kaiser Soze. I
can't even keep my secrets. Like,
Yeah.
I'm
my
like, I
God.
shouldn't tell anybody this. It would be so embarrassing. And then I tell everybody, and it's about me.
90 seconds before we were live, I just had to apologize to Kenzie because I was about to tell her something about my life. And I was like, never mind, I actually can't tell you
I know,
that.
something I actually care about. How annoying.
This movie is a nonstop thrill ride because it's 90 minutes of really, really interesting filmmaking. And we don't ever want to sound uppity on this show. We don't really get into the nitty gritty of that. But the way this movie is edited, where almost everything is a flashback and the only things you're seeing in real time are the interrogation scenes between Chaz Palminteri and Kevin Spacey, are marvelous. And then the way this film is laid out, we're like, I don't know what the hell was happening for most of this movie.
That's what I thought. I thought you'd come in here. You're giving an incredible. You're really describing it well. And I thought you were going to come in here like the Matrix and go, I don't know what the hell was going on.
No. I was able to put all the pieces together after the fact.
Yes.
Whereas the Matrix, the red pill, the blue pill, I don't care. That movie sucked.
That was how dare you? Don't get sidetracked. Don't get me angry.
Matrix gave me a headache. I
Stop
hated
it.
that movie.
Stop it.
But this movie, I was really invested, even if the entire time I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know who Kaiser Sose was. I'm watching it, at my home. I don't have fancy speakers, so the first time they said Kaiser Sose, I go, Sammy Sosa? What's going on? Wait, what's happening now? And it's incredible because the movie keeps you off kilter and off balance the entire time. And I think we have to talk about this in the context of The Usual Suspects, but I don't think I've ever seen Kevin Spacey in anything before.
Yeah, and obviously complicated legacy.
Obviously.
But he is such a tremendous actor.
Yeah.
Like, you haven't seen Seven yet. You haven't seen so much stuff he's been in that was incredible. He's really done it. American Beauty was what I was trying to think of. Oh, my God.
My relationship to Kevin Spacey is bad guy.
Yeah.
I
It's
never.
unfortunate.
Yeah, but he's awesome here. There's a scene in this movie where I guess I don't know how to describe Kaiser Soze. That's the main guy they're looking for.
Right.
But it's not clear during the movie if that's a real guy or a metaphor.
Yeah.
It's kind of like sometimes I don't know if Jesus is God. Like, I don't know who Kaiser Soze is supposed to be. This whole movie felt like reading the Bible, where I wasn't sure what was real and what was a metaphor.
It's crazy, this movie.
But there's a scene in which Chaz Palminteri is interrogating Kevin Spacey, and Kevin Spacey starts to describe the legacy, the aura, if you will, of Kaiser Soze, and he talks about him killing his own family to show these other mafia members, like, hey, you guys think you're tough. I'm the one that's really tough.
He comes home. The Hungarians knew Soze was tough, not to be trifled with. So they let him know they meant business. They tell him they want his territory, all his business. Soze looks over the faces of his family. Then he showed these men of Will what Will really was. He tells him he would rather see his family dead than live another day after this. He lets the last Hungarian go. He waits until his wife and kids are in the ground, and then he goes after the rest of the mob. He kills their kids, he kills their wives, he kills their parents and their parents' friends. He burns down the houses they live in and the stores they work in. He kills people that owe them money. And like that, he's gone.
It's unbelievable.
Wait, he did that to prove a point?
Yes.
That was a long long con there, kind of.
There's a lot to do. It's a lot to do. Kenzie, I don't think you've seen this movie, right, Kenzie? You haven't seen The Usual Suspects?
No.
Oh, my God, Kenzie, you got to do it.
Okay, so I'll try to dance around this in the best way possible because Kenzie hasn't seen this movie. So all of the interrogation scenes with Spacey and Palminteri were filmed first because Chaz Palminteri had availability issues, so they knocked out all of those scenes first. And then as the movie was being filmed, none of the actors involved knew who Kaiser Soze was.
Oh, my God.
That was something that was finalized in the editing of this movie. And then once the movie was screened for the actors, Gabriel Byrne stormed out of the screening because he thought he was supposed to be Kaiser Soze. And when he found out that he wasn't, he was irate. He couldn't believe it. He thought he was betrayed by the director, who, by the way, the director, another complicated legacy. This is a tough movie in hindsight. But he was so upset because nobody knew on set what the payout of the movie was going to be, and it turns out to be this crazy twist ending that involves a fax machine and Chaz Palminteri dropping his coffee, and then Kevin Spacey, who has a limp the entire movie, all of a sudden doesn't have a limp anymore, and I'm sitting on my couch alone just like, oh my, I could not be a criminal. This is all so stressful to me.
And Kenzie, since you haven't seen it, just so you know that this movie, the plot twist ending, is in the category of Fight Club, The Departed, Shawshank Redemption, Mystic River as one of the best plot twist endings in movie history.
Okay.
Without question. Sixth Sense.
And it's not the guy murdering his whole family. That's not how
that's just part of it.
But that was, trust me, did not see that coming.
Yeah,
that's not nice.
Yeah, he shot his son, and I was like, oh, that's tough.
I love when he says, and he killed their parents' friends.
Their parents' friends, I know.
I love that line. And also, it's nice to mention Gabriel Byrne because he's an actor who doesn't get credit because he's had great movies, but he's not like, I wouldn't know if I'd call him an A-lister, but when he's in a movie, man, he kills.
Yeah, Benicio del Toro is fantastic in this.
Yeah.
He's interesting because he talks in a mumble in this entire movie, and I guess that was his own choice because he is, and this is not that big of a spoiler, but he's the first character to die, and he was really upset about the amount of screen time that he was getting, or rather the lack thereof, so he made a very bold choice as an actor to make sure that every line he had was memorable, i.e. almost impossible to understand, and he ends up, to me, kind of being my favorite of the heist bunch.
Wow. Do you want to we want to hold off? We're going to come up against it here. Want to give any more content to the movie?
I can wrap it. I can wrap it up right now. I think this is an excellent movie.
Yeah, I'll give one more thing I want to mention.
Please.
Because I know we're up against it time-wise, but the lineup scene was all improv.
Yes.
Which is one of the famous scenes.
It's too dirty to play. I tried to censor it out, but you just end up censoring every word.
But all those actors just got together, and they thought it was not going to make the movie. And so they were just screwing around. And once the director saw it, he was like, that was incredible. Incredible. You get that group of guys together, including Alec Baldwin's brother, who was in the car when that garbage truck the size of a whale hit us. Stephen Baldwin.
We're going to play that after the break. I want to go again.
All right, so what's your rating and what's it out of?
Well, I think the final scene in this movie, the final heist, if you will, is they're trying to find cocaine on a boat. So I think the rating has to be out of cocaine on a boat.
Sure.
And this is a very strong 8 cocaines on a boat out of 10.
Wow.
I did my best to not spoil the ending. If for some reason you haven't seen this movie, I cannot recommend it enough. This is a great movie. It won Best Original Screenplay at the Academy Awards that year. And if you haven't seen it in a long time, revisit it. This is a really great watch.
The Usual Suspects.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
Q101.
Case just had his movie review of The Usual Suspects on about its 30th anniversary of release. If you missed it, you have to go back to the podcast and check it out. It'll be on there the entire show is on our Brian and Kenzie podcast every day to go back and listen to the review. And since The Usual Suspects featured Stephen Baldwin, it gives us the opportunity to play the audio of Alec Baldwin when he was in the car with his brother Stephen and got in a car accident. This happened about a month ago. I haven't heard anything about it since.
Well, what else do you need to hear about?
Well, whose fault it really was.
Well, I saw the video. It wasn't Alec Baldwin's fault.
But he claims, here, listen to the audio, and he claims that, of course, this garbage truck was the biggest one in history that hit him and his brother, who, by the way, I always picture all the Baldwin brothers in a clown car going around together.
This morning I was in this car accident. A guy cut me off in a truck. Big garbage truck. I mean, a garbage truck the size of a whale. I've never seen a garbage truck. It must have been something commercial for, like, taking away material from construction or something. It was the biggest garbage truck I've ever seen. Anyway, to avoid hitting him, I hit a tree. I hit a big, fat tree and crushed my car, my wife's car. But it's all fine, and I'm fine, and my brother's fine, and bobbity-bob. My wife's car is pretty smashed up. Big tree, big fat tree.
Big fat tree.
Oh my God. The Trump impersonations have really, they set in. He did it for too long.
Yeah, you can't get rid of it.
Now he just sounds like, you know, when like a method actor studies, you know, an accent for a long time, that happened with Austin Butler for Elvis. Like, that's what happened to him.
Yeah.
Like, I can't shake the Trump.
Oh my God, play it one more time.
First off, you got to note the biggest garbage truck in history, and then almost he doesn't. All he wants to say it, the biggest tree in history, but doesn't get there.
This morning I was in this car accident. The guy cut me off in a truck, big garbage truck.
Big
a garbage truck the size of a whale. I've never seen a garbage truck. It must have been something commercial for like taking away material from construction or something. It was the biggest garbage truck I've ever seen. Anyway, to avoid hitting him, I hit a tree. I hit a big fat tree and crushed my car, my wife's car. But it's all fine, and I'm fine, and my brother's fine, and blah blah blah. My wife's car is pretty smashed up. Big tree, big fat tree.
Why'd you say big fat tree in the end again?
He's like insulting, like big fat ass tree in my way.
Oh, boy. Well, there you go. Coming up, we got some of the local stories you need to know, including if you take Uber or any rideshare coming up. Something special happening in Chicago in the last week with Uber. And we'll talk about that in just a second with Brian and Kenzie on Q101 after Blue Brigada.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.